So this is something else I want to talk about because I think it's not on purpose. It's going to be super intentional. So with the Mandalorian and Grogu, they are obviously adding Grogu's name to the theatrical title. So we know that we're going to get some time with Grogu, and of course we're going to have some alone time with Grogu on screen. So we're going to learn a lot about him. So that kind of like dragon little creature character that asks Grogu if he's afraid. I feel like he's going to be able to kind of narrate and tell us what Grogu's thinking, kind of like how Ahsoka did when they found out, like his name and where he was from and this and that and the
It's like
third.
the Force interpretation,
Yes.
or
So
like the
maybe,
interpretation of the Force.
yes, exactly. So maybe that creature that's there maybe is, a little like an old wise man, like he knows, like he understands the Force, doesn't use it, or, I mean, he could use it, but not
What if
like,
it's like Luke when he goes into the tunnel and it's like a manifestation of, of your fear type of thing. And it's like
yeah.
he's creeping through this tunnel and this thing comes up and it's like, "Are you afraid?" And it's like blasts it with the little thing and he's like, "Nah." So it's like, confronting your fear type of vibe. But
Well, I mean, look, John Favreau already talked about how he looks at the Empire Strikes Back and gets a lot of like feel for that going into the
hmm
Mandalorian and Grogu. We have a snowy planet. We're going against, AT-AT drivers. We're going against, snow troopers, this, and that, and the third, which snow
hmm
troopers look absolutely badass because they don't have that cloth piece no more that's over the mask and it's just like the little respirator looking thing. That's sick.
yeah, they got the Winter
Side
Shore
note,
Trooper.
yeah, literally. Like
Clean.
that would be so clean. Yeah. I I think that too of Grogu, going on that little mission, walking through like kind of like the picture here, and when he's like meditating on that tree stump or the tree branch. I think this would be really cool is if he does have that same thing that Luke did, just like you mentioned. He kind of does like Yoda's like what Yoda did once upon a
The
time.
trial.
And it's like Grogu being a Mandalorian apprentice and being on his own again is going to be so cool for us to see. And like maybe we spend like 30 minutes where it's just like, Din is captured by the Hutt twins and now we have to go with Grogu where he is. Maybe Grogu's, biggest fear is seeing like maybe we get like an on-screen visual of Mando dying. Like that is
Yeah.
Grogu's like biggest fear, and like he's channeling in like the dark and like but fighting it off at the same time, learning putting his Mandalorian training and his Jedi training together, I feel like just makes Grogu such a interesting damn character, dude. Like this is going to be so cool, man. I think this is going to be great.
And maybe this is where the Anzellan ship takes us. Like we're going from the Anzellans to this point that they know of, and they're like, "Hey, we've only met one of your kind before, but like he came from here," and like we get the
That'd be fucking
the
crazy.
shipping of Grogu to this planet, and this is like one of those things that we were just talking about, and it's like we've never seen where Yoda's come from. Like we've never seen that planet. We've never had anything like that. So it's like to give us that kind of, hey, here's a new place that has such an impact on the Star Wars universe that hasn't been talked about or shown yet. Like
Mhm.
that's what I want, man. Like I don't want to go back to Hoth for the fifth time and be like, oh, we missed
Yeah.
this thing. It's like, no, dude, like take us somewhere new and like really expand on what has an impact with Yoda and, now Grogu.
Yeah. I agree, dude. I think that's going to be sick, man. Cuz like Star Wars Holocron, of course, we love Star Wars Holocron over here. He says,
All the
"Could we
homies.
be, could we be visiting Yoda and Grogu's homeworld for the first time?" And now that is a big question, man. That's huge. Like, what do we think that's going to be? And plus, like if Ludwig Göransson, awesome musician, does all the
hmm
music for the Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett. Um, he I think he just won some awards for Sinners because he did the music on there, and also I think he helped with Redbone by Childish Gambino. So like obviously a huge banger from like 10 years ago. Still, I mean that's a timeless song, one of the greatest songs of
Ba,
all time.
ba, 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 ba.
Like it's such a good song, but I mean like Ludwig Göransson's a legend, bro. Like and it's cool to see him right here. It says that Ludwig Göransson says that one of his favorite parts of the Mandalorian and Grogu is when Grogu goes to a specific place where you really get to spend some time with him and get to know him. So that's where I'm like, okay, look, I'm 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 sitting there, I'm watching. I am dialed in. I got to see what Grogu's little legacy story is here and what's going on, because him with his armor, him with his little walking stick, and him meditating and maybe, like you said, channeling the force is going to be absolutely insane. And, there's Grogu fatigue and, we don't want Grogu. It's like, bro, go sit with some other stuff then. You know what I'm
Go
saying?
put the fries in the back, dog.
Yeah, for real. Give me, this is Grogu, bro. This is the next big thing. So yeah, I'm dialed in. I'm here. I'm locked and loaded.
Yeah. And I think that's one of those things where it's like, with you brought up the Grogu fatigue, and it's like, they're gonna have to expand on his capabilities and what we're able to see him do, what the communication aspect, like, is this where we're finally gonna be able to see him talk type of thing. But it's like, the aging of his character is so slow in theory, where it's like, how much are they gonna move forward with this movie?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I agree. I what they say here. Uh Yeah, no way Din dies. Dot 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 dot. Yeah, yeah, we're on board. John and I have talked, in the last couple months that Din could be out,
Yeah.
or I mean, simply there's two factors. He's either gonna live or he's not, and we kind of teeter back and forth, which one is it, but kind of just depends on the day. I don't want to see where the species come from, but I do want to see some more Force lore, and Grogu's learning to meet others that met Yoda. The Wills would be
Hmm.
amazing one day, like Yoda did in the Clone Wars. Yeah, I agree, dude.
Yeah.
Because I can live with, not knowing where Yoda, Grogu, and Yaddle are from, but if they showed us, cool. But I just feel like, George never tapped into it, and I don't know, is that something Dave wants to like
Mess
maybe
with.
receives, yeah, like, and maybe
Right.
receive some like backlash, because it's like, no, like that's not where Yoda's from. I think you just leave it a mystery, dude. We don't need to know where he's from. It's just
Well,
like
and I think,
Obi-Wan's planet, like Stew John, like that's named after John Stewart. You know what I'm saying? So it's
yeah,
just like, yeah, that's where Obi-Wan's from. But it's just like, we don't need to know where Obi-Wan's from. It's okay.
and a planet of Yodos would just like tear apart the whole like aspect. Like, imagine showing up and there's just like a planet of these dudes. It's like, nah, that wouldn't fly.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. And that's the thing. Cool. Awesome. But yeah, we don't need that. We don't need it. Plenty of story left, life in Den. If you've got fatigue, then that's your issue, not mine. I'm enjoying all content. Damn, thanks so much. Yeah, it's literally that.
Yeah.
That's how I am.
Yep.
That's literally how I am. It's like, bro, do you not want more Star Wars? Do you want to live in the Stone Ages where we only have 6 movies? Like, that sounds
People get
boring.
mad and then they get things canceled and then we don't get it ever again. And then it's like, okay,
Yeah,
well,
and it's like, hey, bro, go be miserable in that corner. You stay over there. That's like Colin Cowherd when he's like, no, we don't need you, LeBron. We got Ben Simmons. We're good over here. Sit this one out. And it's like, oh, what a terrible take. But I always love that meme. Where it's just like, we're good. Just sit this one out.
yeah.
George said he never wanted to reveal Yoda's home. Yeah, correct.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
we
there
don't
you
need
go.
it. We don't need it. So yeah, dude, frickin' Grogu, man. I love Grogu. He's great. My goat.